Hi there, this is Paige with Stamp Girl here on YouTube, and welcome to my channel. In this video I'm sharing with you the cards that I made using the February 2020 Sheetload of Cards template from Alicia, who is Call Me Crafty Al. And this is what the template looks like. I keep mine in a plastic sleeve, so I apologize for the glare, but she shows what a finished card would look like. She tells you all the supplies you need, how many cards you'll get if you follow her instructions as written, the dimensions of each of the individual pieces in case you want to make just a single card, and then she gives suggestions for other ways to use the sketch. And then the second page is the cutting guide, how to cut your pattern paper and cardstock to get the number of pieces that you need for your project. So I used that, and then I used a couple different paper pads from DCWV. This one is called Emerald Garden Stack. Looking for 2013, so it's quite old. I had a totally different idea in mind. I pulled this out thinking I was going to do one thing with it, and I ended up doing something else, but lots of pretty papers. A lot of them have foil. Just some fun prints, some large, some small, some medium. But pretty papers. And then I made one set of cards with this, and then I decided to do a second set. And this one is also from DCWV, called the Marquee Stack. And this one also has glitter. And for those of you that like blue, there's lots of blue, different shades of blue in this one. And then in the front here is a bunch of my scraps that I've saved. Move that out of the way. Let me show you my cards. This is the first set that I made. So I have a white card base, and then two of the patterns from the Emerald stack. And then I went through my stash, because my goal this year is just to use a lot of embellishments and things in my stash that have just been in my stash for way too long. So I pulled out some brads and different things to use. This Hello Friend is from an old paper pumpkin kit. And then I matted this with black. I tried it with white and I tried it with black, and I like the look of black better, so I matted it with some black cardstock. And then the inside is just a scrap of the background paper. So on the sketch, she had this little thread, loopy thread thing, and I had put the first three cards together before I remembered to do that, and I had the perfect thread for this. But I remembered on the last three, so I'll show you. But and then I just kind of adjusted where I put the sentiment, how far down or how far up. I just kind of used the designs in the pattern paper to get the best placement for the sentiment. Then I had a couple of bird-shaped paper clips, and kind of in the back of my mind for February, for the Use It Up challenge that Beth is doing, Bourbon Creek Crafts. I'm kind of concentrating on birds this month. I pulled out a bunch of stuff from a drawer labeled birds, and I decided to concentrate on that this month. So I got a bird clip there that I used. Then for these three cards, this is where I remembered to make those little thready loops. I have some metallic green embroidery floss that matches this foiled green really well. And on this one I used all 6 strands. And then I thought that was a little much, so then on these two I just separated it into 2 groups of 3 strands. I like that much better. But here's another bird clip and another little brad, so I was able to use up the last two bird clips from my stash, and I was able to use up the last three flower brads from my stash, and I only had one of these. My mat keeps sliding on me. I hate that. Sorry about that. So then I decided to make another set of cards, and that's where I used the marquee stack and picked out a couple patterns. Backed this on some blue. I can't tell you what color it is. I have a bunch of cardstock from various companies and older retired Stampin' Up! Colors, and they're just kind of all mixed together, and I go to that stack first to find something to match. So I used a light blue there, and then I went in my stash and had these flower brads, and these are from Stampin' Up! From quite a long time ago. And I used up the last of this color blue. And the reason I didn't do the little nest on these cards is it would have been another shade of blue, and I thought I had enough different shades going on already, so I didn't do the little thread thing there. But I've got 3 with this color brad, and again I kind of adjusted where I place the sentiment for it to look best on the pattern paper. And then these are navy blue, and I used the last of this color as well. And so I've got those 3. So this one is up, like this one is up higher because there was a big empty space right here, and if I would have moved it down here, that would have been too much without the glitter showing. And then for these two, I wanted a little bit of glitter peeking out above and below the sentiment. So that's kind of how I determined that. But so I've got 12 cards, 2 sets using 2 different paper stacks. I will leave a link down below to Alicia's video where she introduces her sheet load of cards for February. It's a free download for all of her subscribers, so please go watch her video, subscribe, and then you'll be able to download this template as well. Really, really fun, easy way to do cards, and I like it when you can start doing it assembly line, when you're making more than one card from the same design. So anyway, I'd like to thank you for joining me, and now I'm off to create.